Well, and you guys have there's like all these vocal elements that you get that D4 ended up having. Was that part of that initial like idea of like wanting to expand?
He
into
like
having more. I mean, and even having multiple vocalists and on the same song, and
yeah. I mean, it was just like it's always been necessity. Like if Patty writes something that he thinks is like high, in his mind, I have a high voice, so then I'd sing that stuff or whatever. If I thought something like needed to sound tough, like he would do it. But then over the years, it just became like, if he writes a song, he sings it, and if I write a song, I sing it. Got to be too difficult to like, which is probably why there's a lot more like group singing on our earlier stuff, and later on it gets separate because we just got lazy.
Right. Did you get? I mean, you started singing a lot, and did you? I mean, did you do anything to get to that point?
Patty didn't write any fucking songs, So it's like I ended up, our second record, like he wrote one song, we put out our first album in '98, and it was pretty even. That's how it was supposed to be. But then by like 2000, it's like, dude, are you gonna write any music? Because we're supposed to make a record, And he's like, oh yeah, I got stuff. But so it just kind of fell that way, I'm slightly a little bit more. Everyone knows we're not the most prolific band. I'm slightly more prolific than he is, so it just ended up being slightly more of my songs on some of those records,
Right. Well, now, and when you say you're writing the song, if you write a song, are you writing all the song?
Yeah.
Similarly with him, is he writing the music and the lyrics,
and
the melodies and harmonies and stuff?
We both kind of do the the way it developed is like we both do the and he does it the same way. Like we sort of write music and like kind of write hum along lyrics, and then eventually like just kind of through repetition, like the hum along lyrics kind of become pretty set in stone. So you've kind of written the whole melody, and both of us usually, there's exceptions, but for the most part, we write the song start to finish before we even come to practice. The song's done, and then it might change a little bit in practice, like if something doesn't work or whatever. For the most part, it's like you just bring a finished product in, and everyone learns it. But
even to the point of like drum parts and saying, oh, let's do a drum fill here.
Yeah, Lane's a drum machine. We just say like, he's got 3 beats. He's got the taco beat. He's got the China taco beat. He's kind of got like, so we just say like, it's taco and then it's China taco and then it's the other beat that
What does that mean?
Taco. And China taco is with a China symbol. Taco, with the yeah. Those are the beats he knows.
Now,
he's a good drummer. I'm not taking away anything.
You had
that's the language that we developed is. Yeah, taco beat, China taco beat.
But you also had this drum background. Did you ever like?
Oh yeah. Oh, you
figure out a beat and then show him what you
want?
What
his favorite thing is when I sit down behind the drums and be like, and show him what I'm. Yeah, he loves that. That's his favorite.
Do D4s get drunken enough that you get behind the kid ever and that kind of thing?
No. Okay. Did you ask if we got drunk enough to do that?
At shows, does it happen where that?
No, we've gotten drunk enough for a lot of stuff. I don't think we.
That hasn't happened. Yeah. There hasn't been like a replacement. Everybody's changing.
And that was another thing too. Like with our old bands and like hardcore bands, we never drank on stage. It wasn't, and again, it didn't. It's not because we were straight edge, or I don't really know why. Or because we would drink after. But man, with D4, like we made that like our jobs. You know what I mean? And I don't know why. Like that's just what just became natural to us or whatever. And it's still that way. Like we played in Gainesville last week and we're drunk as hell. We can't like. It's seriously awkward if we're sober to play, and I don't mean to say like that's super cool or anything, but it's just the way it is.
Right.
Like it's just how we've always been.
Right.
It's weird.
Too drunk to drive a vehicle.
We've always had a straight edge roadie. Always.
But I'm just saying, like, is that how drunk you get before a show?
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah.
I'm just gauging it here.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. No, totally. Oh Jesus. Yeah. Well before the show. Yeah, I don't know why. It's not like a race or anything, but it just happens that way. I don't know why. But but way early on, we were really lucky. We had this kid named Gertie, who lived with Patty. He was just awesome, and he was like, he was straight, but he was just a dude that like, he wasn't like a straight edge guy. He just didn't drink, and he was just, he would like train hop, and he was just kind of like a traveler dude, and he was really excited to just be able to tour with us so he could travel. So we always had a designated driver, and then. Even after years later, as he got some sort of a life and couldn't do it anymore, that's always like a rule. We don't go anywhere if we don't have a sober driver. We would drive ourselves on tour, but never after the show. We'd always have one person who, and it was never one of us. Like the idea that one of us was going to stay sober ever to drive at has never even come up. It's never even been in the equation.
So when you're writing a song, when you're coming up with an idea on your own, how does that happen usually? I mean, do you take time out on certain days, or do you just wait till it strikes you? Or?
It's always been necessity. It's been how many years since you guys made a record, and then it's like, wow, we got to do this now, and it's strange. Like it didn't, you know what I mean? Like I guess for the first couple of years, it was sort of normal. Like we were interested in writing music, and we still are, I guess. But now it's for the last really since the first record, it's been like
deadline driven.
Time to get it done. It's totally deadline driven, and we never write lyrics until literally, I mean, the last minute. Like I mean, I'm amazed that our lyrics are even at all halfway decent, considering like how late they come. I mean, there's exceptions sometimes, like Patty writes something earlier, but man, I mean, we've like, especially on the early 7-inches, like we would literally have stuff where I would go in and sing a line, and Patty would be in the other room like writing his next line, and then he would go in and sing, and I would come out and write, or like, man, just like times where. Like when we did a split 7-inch band called Pinna Gunpowder, and we recorded at Billy Joe Armstrong's house because it was on his label, and like, you know, I hadn't written any, like I had 2 songs, I hadn't written any lyrics, and so we get there the first night, we track the guitars and stuff and do all the music, and then those guys like go out with Billy Joe. We didn't really know him yet. He takes them out, like they go, and I had to like sit in his fucking house the whole night by myself just writing lyrics at the last. I had months to do that. You know, but we never write anything until the very last minute.
What's going on in your mind when you're writing lyrics? What's your
Got to get it done.
But I mean, what are your goals? What
don't have them be terrible.
Right.
Like literally, it's.
But do you have is there a subject matter, or at some point do you know? Is there a title? I mean, you guys have these awesome titles to the songs that sometimes it's like this weird cryptic.
Right. See, what happens is like except for that song I played earlier, that's the only song I've ever titled. It was the first song I wrote lyrics for. I've written lyrics for plenty others, but after that, like I write the songs that I write, and then when it's all said and done and the record's recorded and finished, then Patty goes back and reads all the lyrics for my songs and his, and then he writes titles for all the songs, which leads to us not knowing the names of any song. Like, I mean, I don't know. I couldn't identify by name 2/3 of the songs we've. I mean, I could.
So your set lists are probably some weird.
We have
coded.
A totally different language amongst ourselves for which song we mean. You know what I mean? Like, and just stupid, like, and it's like humming. It's like, you know, the one that goes do 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 do. I mean, it's stupid. We have no idea what the song, but that's how we do it. I don't know. And he writes great song titles. Whether they have anything to do with the song or not, it doesn't matter really. But
well, as you're writing and you're writing the first line and then you're writing the next line, are you singing it along to yourself? Do you have your guitar with you?
I've already got that whole blueprint. Like of because of the repetition thing, so right. It's like
phrasing and stuff.
Yeah, like if the song's gonna go da 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 da, then it's like then it becomes na 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 na, and then it becomes whatever is closest to the syllables that I was already singing, Right. And then that a lot of times. I mean, we never sit down and go like, I want to write a song about abortion, or I want to write a song about it's like you just try and usually those nonsense syllables have become at least 1 or 2 sentences. That kind of sound like something that kind of sounds like something you might want to write about, and then we just try and create the song around that. I mean, it's like, I mean, I'd like to say it's cooler than that, but it's really not. Like
once the song's done, then though, do you feel like you know what it's about? Do you feel like you know what the song is?
Yeah, it's not like I mean, I'm kind of making it seem like we just kind of shit them out or whatever, and we do, but we're proud of them at the end. I mean, I have lyrics that I've written that I'm totally proud of. I think they're really good, even though I didn't have some crazy inspiration where I was like, I really need to write a song about this, and you know what I mean. It's not driven that way necessarily, but at the end of it, I look back and I'm like, wow, like I'm really happy I was able to articulate that.